In this video, we're going to go into the pros and cons on buying a fourplex versus a apartment complex. And many of these, not many people have heard, so you'll definitely want to stay tuned until the very end. That way, you'll know which one to actually start with. And let's start with the pros when it comes to the fourplex. This is the optimal size to house hack. Because one, you're living in one of the units and you've got 3 other tenants that are paying the mortgage down. Likely you're living free. And if you bought the deal right, you've got some cash left over to now reinvest. And then also the type of loan that you're able to get is on the residential side as well, because it is under 5 units. So it's considered residential versus commercial. And then with this there is just a lower barrier of entry when it comes to the mental side to get started with the fourplex versus something even larger than that. Almost forgot, gotta interject. One last pro is there are more of these that are out there and less sophisticated operators, so you're more likely to find someone who's able to sell at a deeper discount versus the higher unit count you go is there's more sophisticated operators and there is less of those that have been built out there. But the con when it comes to this is the number of units. Let's say you're house hacking, for instance, and you've got 2 of the residents now that are just not paying because let's say the cerveza virus happens and that's code for something else. Just don't want to get flagged in YouTube. And now you're in one of the units, 2 of the tenants are not paying. You've got 1 tenant. Now you're in a scenario where you're just likely not having enough cash coming in to be able to service the mortgage and have some cash left over as well to then reinvest. So that's the thing, is just the diversification. There's just more risk involved with this. All right, so I'm gonna be a little bit biased when it comes to the apartment complex side. Let's jump right into the pros. First and foremost is you get the economies of scale. If you're looking to get to 20 units, for instance, and you're looking to do that by fourplexes, you have to buy 5 separate fourplexes in that case versus just with 1 apartment complex that is 20 units, and you're just 1 transaction with 1 seller in that case. And then you've got, if you're doing renovations on the property, all of the units in 1 location versus if you got multiple fourplexes, they could be throughout the city or even entirely different cities altogether. Secondly there's more attractive financing. Lenders love this type of asset because they know all of the pros involved with that and there's just less risk, so they're willing to be a little bit more aggressive on their terms. And then the diversification of risk. Ask me how I know. One of the properties that I have is it experienced a fire where 8 units are currently down. However, there's 148 additional units as well. So that's the thing that does happen. Just imagine if you had a fourplex and 3 of the units ended up going down, then you're in trouble, because it's likely if you had on debt on that property, is there's still a mortgage due, that lender doesn't care, whatever. So that's the risk with that. However, there are cons, and I've just got one, which is it is just a higher barrier of entry mentally. Not many people can just right from the jump go to a larger multifamily. And I wouldn't even recommend that. I would always say start small and then build your way up. All right, so I'm not going to cap, and there's one more con that does come to mind, which is the large amount of cash that is needed up front, and that oftentimes keeps people from going to the apartment complexes and starting smaller due to that. So that's what I have. Hopefully that helps with making the decision whether you want to start with the fourplex or you want to go to a apartment complex. Go ahead and comment below with fourplex if you made it all the way through, and then also there is a link to have a strategy call where it'll just be more into taking a deeper dive into your business and giving you the tools to be able to scale and grow. Till then, talk to you soon.